You text me the whole time. Well, where's your car? Oh, come on.
Yeah. Rerun now.
Will not miss a stroke here on 87.7 FM Regatta Radio. It is finals day. Some crews will be good enough, some will leave feeling...
Crews bark just under a length ahead. Their heads are high, they're full of confidence, and the bow ball goes across the line for Princeton to record their...
Now the next race has got plenty of interest online. The Australian crew of Sydney are up against the more local crew of Nottingham and Union in the Wyfold. And just to read a shout out to the Australians who have got in contact with us here at info@regattaradio.co.uk. Hello to Ray and everyone who is listening at the moment online. This is your race coming up now. G'day. Just to let you know, there are a lot of interesting parents and friends of the SRC crew listening to Regatta Radio's internet broadcast of the Wyfold Challenge Cup final at the Sydney Rowing Club over here in Oz. Good luck to you guys then. We're about to find out whether or not you are going to be cheering back home, and do let us know your reaction either way please, or whether it's going to be despair. Princeton have won the first final of the day. Time now to go back to the start and Peter McConnell for the second race of the day. It's Sydney against Nottingham and Union.
Here at the start, we're awaiting the second race of the day on this finals day of Henley Raw Regatta, and you're listening to Regatta Radio on 87.7 FM. We've just seen Sir Steve Redgrave emerge from the starting hut, limping down the bank to get a boat back up, limping because of a bizarre golfing injury that he picked up only a week or two ago.
Straight and ready. I will start you like this. Attention, go. Get ready, please. Attention, go.
Sydney on the Berkshire station, that's the riverbank side. Sydney on the Buckinghamshire station, and Nottingham Union on the Berkshire station. And the crews have just gone off the start, and it is Sydney who have taken early lead as they start moving towards the top of the island. Sydney have had a relatively easy row so far coming into this final, and Nottingham and Union had to come from behind yesterday in a fantastic race against Wallingford, where they were down for most of the course, and it's Wallingford who are now being warned as they're about half a length down just as they go past the top of the island and they move on to the quarter of a mile signal. Wallingford have had to move back towards the booms, and Sydney in their distinctive light blue strip are maintaining their half a length or so lead. We'll see what the timekeeper at the barrier says about it, but it looks to me as though Sydney are starting to move very slightly away as we pass over to Rebecca at the barrier.
Thank you, Peter. So the first marker is the quarter mile, and indeed, as Peter said, it's Sydney that are the first crew to pass the marker. They're now moving quite strongly away. That steering seems to be an ongoing problem for the Nottingham and Union crew. This is a coxless boat, and inside the boat, one of the athletes will be controlling the rudder. They have chosen different people to do it. In the Nottingham Union crew, it's the bowman who's steering. So he's at the front of the boat and he has to look over the heads of all the other athletes in order to adjust the steering, whereas in the Sydney crew, it's the stroke man who is actually steering, and he therefore has a clear view of everything that's behind him. And will be using the parallel lines that you can see in order to make any steering adjustments. Going past the barrier, it's still Sydney in the lead, this time by nearly 2/3 of a length, and the Nottingham crew are pushing extremely hard. Their rating still in the high 30s. I've just clocked them at 39, and the Sydney crew not giving up by any means. They're leaning back into the very light headwinds that we've got here at Henley today as I pass down to Forley.
And the conditions here today are ever so slightly strange. There's a bit of a squally wind that keeps on changing in direction. A bit of a head crosswind. There's a bit of a smattering of rain that keeps on coming on and off, so the crews will be getting a little bit cold with that sometimes and making sure that they are plenty warmed up as soon as they are attached to the stake boats. And now the rain is coming down a bit harder as the crews are approaching the Forley marker, and it's still very much neck and neck. There's not a lot in it. The Knots and Union crew in their red and black kit are keeping up very well with the Sydney Rowing Club crew from Australia in their sky blue kit. And now they're just approaching now the Forley marker, which will now be pretty much halfway down the course. Forley is obviously named after Forley Court, which is directly opposite it on the Buckinghamshire station. And this marks the point in the race where there's a border between Buckinghamshire and Oxfordshire. So by the time you get to the finish, main Henley town is in Oxfordshire and the other side is still Berkshire. And now as we come into the 3/4 mile